me see what's going on. Where is the hot spot here? What's up, OG Houston, man? How's it going, dude? There's a guy playing some trumpet music out here. Oh, there he is. Is that him? I think he's drinking too, man. Let's see if this is the same guy. Oh yeah, he is. He's playing, yeah. Is it still hot as balls out there? Light. Holy shit. That was too fast. The newer Prius model right there. So they're building another luxury apartment building right next to Hassan. Man, they're building so many apartment buildings. Yeah. Rent's still expensive though. Dummy Boys with Crispy. All right. Are they over in Dallas? Over at DreamHack? Is it DreamHack? Is that where it's at? Dallas? Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Have you ever met Crispy in person? Or Dummy Boy? I met Dummy Boy in person. They have? Okay, good. Yeah, there's some clips of stuff that's going on at DreamHack. Oh, you haven't? Oh, okay. There's a dasher right there on his little motorized scooter or bike. What is this guy doing, man? Oh, man. What are you doing, lady? There's a parking space right there. Right there for there's a guy laying on the street. That's crazy. I hope that guy's okay, man. Let's see. Another dasher right here. Let's drive around the block and see if that guy's okay. these cars that are parked right here are either waiting for a delivery. They're probably just waiting to get called to get a delivery order. They're sitting in their car, yeah. All of them are sitting here, sitting here, sitting here, sitting here. And then these guys right here, sitting here, sitting here, sitting here. All of these people are sitting. Unless there's no driver there, so you must have an order. This lady's sitting here too. She's doing DoorDash too. And these guys sitting here. A lot of people just sitting here waiting for orders. So there's like probably about a good 15 cars that are waiting for orders because this area is a very popular restaurant. This guy's probably waiting too. He's got an Uber. There's Uber and DoorDash probably. Oh, this guy's looking way better than the lights. So this right here is where I streamed tonight Kiara Kitty when she first came to LA. This building right here, where this car is where I stream sniped her. Now, sorry about that. I was on a call, so I had to mute the mic. But you should be able to hear me now. Let's see what's going on.
People, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time. Always gotten along with him. But he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it
Ika
at all.
Sushi.
Okay?
I know what that's.
We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't
This
like
guy
it
is
at
a
all.
DoorDasher right here.
Well, clearly the president is upset and frustrated in our personal
It's going pretty good.
This is the president making his way back to the White House.
I went to the Citadel outlet to look for clothes for Donovan's graduation ceremony, but unfortunately we could only find a shirt and a tie and a belt. But I think he's going to wear Aaron's pants. It's kind of hard when you're in between that age. He's a waist size 30 and he's skinny, but when you're in that in-between age of teenager and I guess senior, it's hard to find clothes that fit. So that's the deal. Hopefully we'll be able to find something. I think he's going to be able to wear Aaron's pants that he wore in 10th grade. Are so straight-legged and slim. I don't know. I don't like that style. I need a little bit of a. I don't know. It's just like you buy it once and then you don't. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I just had to answer a call here. It says valet parking only. But I'm going to this really interesting sushi place. It's called Iki. Iki in Japanese means, I think, one, right? So let me just, I think he'll let me park right up here. Let me just tell the guy. Oh, maybe I can park right here. Pick up. Hello, I got a pickup. Right there? Okay, good. Thank you. This is a very authentic Chinese restaurant right there. Super authentic, man. Alright, let me see here. 10 items. Blossom roll. Alright, let's see. Places are pretty busy. Oh, there's a place right there. Beer. Southbound Beer. medicamento, pues a lo mejor más tarde, no sé, estoy tratando de juntar dinero, no sé, hijo. Oye, esa foto del cuarto de... No, necesito fotos del cuarto de Aaron, quiero ver los camas, no como el motel, pero... No, pues, ¿cómo están? ¿Sabes qué? A mí no me gusta cuando tú estás hablando con alguien y me llamas. Ese es, no es respeto. Eso no me gusta. Y tú estás burlando de mí. Porque estás hablando con la otra persona diciendo, ay, qué guapo. Y te pregunté quién es, pero no quisiste contestar. ¿Con quién llamó guapo? Mándame una foto de ustedes ahorita mismo, entonces.
Drive south on South Harvard Boulevard. Then turn left onto West 8th Street. Drive south on South Harvard Boulevard. Then turn left onto West 8th Street.
That's what I'm asking, yeah. Yo soy guapo, I'm the guapo.
Continue for 1 mile.
guapo is like pogi. Do you know what pogi means? Pogi, handsome. Estoy sentado y manejando. Ok, espero que tú también con la medicina. Entonces, ¿por qué estás pidiendo por mí?
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Southwest Moreland Avenue.
Pues siempre no me hagas caso. Yo estoy pidiendo cosas desde ayer y no hiciste. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Cuál es el problema? Pogi sandwich, yeah.
Turn left onto Southwest Moreland Avenue.
La verdad no es justo. Pues tú también eres la misma. Siempre estás pidiendo y en vez de decirme, oye amor, ¿cuándo puedes mandar este dinero para la medicina? ¿Cuándo me vas a mandar?
In 800 feet, turn right onto
Como-
West 7th Street.
Como estás ordenándome. Yo estoy enojado y molesto porque yo te pedí hacer cosas y no me haces caso.
Turn right onto West 7th
Te he dicho
Street.
ayer.
Then your destination will be on the right. Your destination is on the right.
Let's see here. I think it's further up. All right, guys, watch my car. I'm gonna take this delivery here.
sabes por qué yo soy pendejo?
Porque estoy aguantando tus cosas que tú me haces en mí. Por eso soy pendejo. Hey, 82 Salad, good job, buddy. Good to hear that, man. There's an ambulance right in front of us here. Oh man! So they said this guy. I talked to. He said he was the owner of the building, and I told him. I said, hey, I seen this management company. It's called Tripalink, Tripalink, and he said like they're going bankrupt. The management company. I don't know how a management company that manages apartments goes bankrupt. They must be not getting money from the owners or something. I don't know. Tuna salad is really good, man. Hey, dude, I had some kimchi jjigae that my mother-in-law made, and I put some noodles in there, and it, man, it really cleaned me out, man. I have to. Oh man, something's up right here. What's going on with this guy right here? Oh, this guy on the street. I guess someone called the guy because he was sitting on the street or something. I don't know what's going on, man. Another day in Koreatown. Got a beer in his bag. I think it's so obvious when guys walk around with like a plastic bag like that. You know they got a beer. They should put it in like another type of one of those drink containers that keep their drink cool. That probably would be more inconspicuous, more stealth. Oh, here's something right here. I got another. We got an ambulance here. Let's see what's going on, man. Shit, man, we had a fire truck on the other street. This is the 8th Street right here. We have an ambulance right here. Let's see what's going on. Looks like this person's okay. There's a stoplight right here. Maybe someone in the restaurant, huh? Something's happening right here, huh? Oh, they got a fire truck. They got 2 fire trucks in it. They have a fire truck and an ambulance. Oh, they're picking up the guy in the alley. That's what they're doing. They're getting this guy in the alley. Man, you guys are stupid for walking across the street, man. Jesus Christ. People just do that. They need to put like a crosswalk there or something. Yeah, there's a homeless guy in the alley. I guess they're trying to rescue that dude. He must not be doing really well. And that place is busy now ever since they put those restaurants in there. please. Across the street. Gym today, man. We have about another hour left of daylight. It'll get dark. So, hey, OG, what do you think of Michael Hearn, man? That guy's 55, I believe, 55. I think he's 55 or 56. The guy's in good shape, man. Yeah, he's been bodybuilding since like he was 14 or 15, though, man. That guy's got a long history of bodybuilding. Plus, he's got that strength, man. I wonder if you have to put money in the meters on this side. I don't think so because it's Sunday. Yeah, Michael Herman. That guy's obviously he's juiced up too, but I mean, he looks good though. I mean, he's a professional bodybuilder, so I guess he's got to be like that, you know, have that kind of body. Be juiced up like that. Heck yeah, man. I know the library's not open today. Bikini top on, man. On that. Should go talk to those girls, man. What's up, girls? Alright, let me see what's going on. Man, ever since I've seen those U-Haul trucks that carry immigrants around, man, I always look at a U-Haul truck, I'm like, is that a U-Haul truck that's full of immigrants, man? Of undocumented aliens? They're trying to sneak into the country? They're being trafficked? It's crazy, huh? It's weird how I get that in my mind now. This guy looks good. It says no parking anytime. What? do not understand that. No stopping anytime, it says. That makes sense. Why don't they let people stop here? It's weird. It makes sense. Sit here for just a bit. Yeah, I think I prefer Diet Coke better than regular Coke because the regular Coke just has too much sugar, I believe. The Diet doesn't have as much. What's up, OG Houston, man? Okay, this guy's parked here. I think he's waiting. I bet he's waiting too. I bet he's waiting for doing DoorDash. This dude right here that's sitting on the wall over here. Oh, he's got something there. Maybe he's waiting. Oye, amigo. Amigo. Ven. ¿Estás trabajando?
No,
Are you working?
no,
Oh, I thought you were waiting for like a delivery or something.
no.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, you're good.
All right, have a good one. He probably was surprised I was speaking Spanish to him. That's crazy. Oh well. Excuse me. All right, I think it's time for me to move, man. Castle's Hamburgers. So they're saying that the hot spot is over at Castle's Hamburgers. So let's go over there, man. That guy was waiting for a parking space, man. What was he looking for? I don't understand why they have this no stopping sign here anytime. That doesn't make sense, man. 6th Street. The city of LA sucks. Parking sucks. The sidewalks are dirty as hell. Look at this dent in this road, man. Too many potholes. I don't understand why these people are getting paid $700,000 a year or $1 million a year, and the city sucks like it is. It's like, why don't they use that money to the budget? Hey, what's up, Christine? How you doing, man? Are you a friend of Donovan's? Or Aaron? Are you one of Aaron or Donovan's friends? This place is always busy on the left. KevTV. KevTV. In about probably, I think in a half an hour, it's going to start getting dark. Oh, actually about 8. Yeah, it's about an hour then. So it's starting to, the sun sets like around close to 8. That's cool. Io pensavo che stesse con il primo. Oh man, what happened here? This guy's picking up that chair. Holy shit. Someone must have just dropped it on the street. That's dangerous, man. That was picked up that chair. That was good that he picked it up and put it away. I think is that a Korean guy? Might be. He got a small bike. Repent. Don't go to hell. See all? Oh yeah, all these cars that are parked here on the spot here. They're all waiting for deliveries. Yeah, it's all messed up, man. Yep. People walking right here. But all these cars right here on the side are all waiting for delivery requests. Yeah. Yeah, they're not even supposed to park there, man. I'm surprised that parking enforcement hasn't given them a ticket or something. Where's this guy going here? This guy, pay attention. Let's go, man. Let's go, dude. Lady, is that a guy or a lady? Hey, OG, are you still in the chat? Should I get my hair cut? Type 1 in the chat if you think my hair should get cut. If I should get my hair cut, type 1 in the chat. Type 1 in the chat. If you think my hair should be cut shorter, type 1 in the chat. One in the chat, one in the chat, one in the chat, one in the chat. One in the chat. I think there's probably not a lot of people doing delivery. I'm still in this. All these restaurants are closed. All these are open. Oh my crab! Oh my crab! Oh my crab! That's the name of the place. Oh my crab! All you can eat. Huh. All you can eat. Well, that's pretty cool. All you can eat what? That's the question. What is it that you can... All you can eat of what? Area of 6th Street. Maybe I should drive down Alvarado just for the frick of it, so we can see the people that are all out on drugs, drugged out, and fentanyl and all that stuff, man. Let me see the people. Let's drive down to Alvarado and take a look down there and see what's going on. Let's see the people that are drugged out on fentanyl and drugs and all that stuff. Like it's like zombie land up here. We get to Alvarado. Moses Lake are pretty nice, man. Look at this guy right here. See? What is he doing? He's just picking up stuff on the street? That guy's homeless. I don't think he's not drugged out. He's just freaking homeless. So they have like a couple older person's home. Available beds apply now. We accept SSI. No out-of-pocket expenses. The Grandview Retirement Place. Oh my God. Damn. That place is probably pretty dirty inside too, man. It's been there for years, man. Years. It's amazing, man. Yeah, I've heard that MacArthur Park was always, for the last, I think, 40 years, it's been like a place where undesirables hang out. This lady in the wheelchair right here. Let me see here. Got a lot of crazy activity here, man. Just waiting for the bus. All right, here we go. Here we go. So this guy's gonna go. He's gonna go. He doesn't even care. Careful. This guy's gonna go. They're not supposed to be going, man. Who cares? People in the park still, you know. They put fences on the left side so they don't have people selling stuff, because otherwise they wouldn't have any business. All these little businesses here. All that trash right there. It's crazy. All these people just hanging out in the park, man. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. If they clean this park up, it would be super nice. This could be like if this was in a different area, oh my gosh. Especially with the fountain like that. This has the diagonal crosswalk. Yeah. They have all those fences right there. That actually helps out a lot. Not all this trash on the left side, man. Oh man, it's such a dirty place. What a dirty, disgusting place, man. ¿Por qué no puedes comer? ¿Por qué no puedes comer? Go down here on 7th Street. There's trash over here, man. Alright. supposedly talked about owner of this building, and he explained to me that this management company is going bankrupt. I don't know if I believe it or not. This guy's doing it right here. He's walking with his bag looking for something. He's probably at this apartment right here. That guy. Rolling Teriyaki. So that used to be a ramen place. And now it's called Rolling Teriyaki. It's amazing how they change those restaurants. I've seen that restaurant change 3 or 4 times. Road to Soul Barbecue. There used to be a barbecue place right here, BKS Pro. I don't even think it's open though. No, they don't have it open. Yeah, that's terrible. That place used to be open. We ate there a couple times, I think. Maybe once or twice, like 6, 7 years ago. Lazy thing over here. Oh, there he is. There's Omar. bathroom real quick. Let me put on some music, I guess, when I'm waiting. All right, let's listen to
but we're going to close it at 3. You'll get like the $500,000 or the $1 million back.
You just committed fraud. They don't know that.
How could I have committed a fraud against a bank that's fully aware of all the details of the transaction? When they say United States of America versus Porsche Louder, that's when you're like, oh, how could I have been so foolish? I started building a photography company, and my business just really grew. So we have these 2 kids. We buy a house. I start my own company. Chad's working. And for about 4.5 years, life is going pretty good. About that time, the real estate market's going crazy. And I decide that I need to build a home to put my studio in. It's in Utah.
What year is this?
It's 2003, 2004. So I'm building a home, and the lots in my neighborhood are just going up. And I told my husband, I said, I'm going to go lock up a couple of those lots. I'm going to put them under contract. And I think I gave him $2,500, and he flipped. I came home and he's like, what are you doing? How are we going to close those? What are you thinking? So I went and asked for the I went and asked for the $2,500 back, and then the lots like doubled in value.
Right.
I was so pissed off. I was like, don't ever tell me what to do again, you know? But about that time, my back went out too. So I ended up having a pretty good injury with my back and had to have back surgery. Now, I know this about myself, the kind of drug addict that I am. If I use like 1/2 of a pain pill, I'm right back at it. At that point, I didn't know that about myself. Like, I still thought, oh, I'm doing good. You know, I'm living legit. And so when I had the back surgery, I didn't tell the doctor, and he prescribed the pain pills again. And I kept thinking, I got this under control. I'm not on the street. I'm doing everything right. But my addiction, the thing about me is when I use drugs, I like to hustle. They go together. And so I started using pills again, and decided that I would put some more lots under contract. But this time I ended up putting a whole subdivision under contract, and I used hard money. So I borrowed a couple $100,000. Well, more than that. I think I had about $500,000, and I had all of our equity line. I took an equity line on our house, so everything's locked up. And I'm thinking, well, I'm just going to build, you know, I'll get construction loans. Well, you can't get like 10 construction loans all at once. So my family, my parents, other people, I'm getting construction loans in everybody's name. Well, construction loans were hard to get.
Yeah, that's a construction to perm loan. Yeah,
Right.
Very difficult.
It's a lot harder than just getting, you know, refining your house or whatever. Well, I didn't know that. I'm pretty new in it. And now I'm paying this hard money every month, like $50,000 a month. Like, how do you come up with that? I have to buy a lot, flip it, and I make $30,000. And so now I'm upside down. Plus I have my photography business, which is going, like, I'm doing about 200 weddings a year. I mean, I have employees. I've got a studio now. So life is crazy. I have nannies taking care of my kids. And my name's Portia, which is pretty unusual. Well, there was another Portia. Her name was Portia Bunker in the real estate game in Utah, which is, again, unusual. And I had a couple guys reach out to me and say, hey, can we borrow some money? She was a hard money lender. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not a hard money lender. They said, well, let's go to lunch. So we go to lunch, and they explain to me what is called an equity deal. They're like, hey, we've got this house. It appraises for $5 million, but you can pick it up for $3 million, and pull the cash out of it.
An equity deal. That's great. That's so much better than a
Right, than a
straw
fraud,
man
right?
or cash out refi or cash out.
I know. Yeah.
Have you ever Googled your name? With one quick search, I can find all of your information on very sketchy websites. Your phone number, your old addresses. Want to know how scammers get your information? This is it. And that's why today's video is sponsored by Aura. There are companies called data brokers that take your personal information without asking and sell it to anyone, marketers, scammers, even stalkers. That's why your phone blows up with spam and weird texts. And if you want to get your information removed, they make it really hard on purpose. But Aura does this for you automatically. and they keep it off. Aura's not just for data removal. It helps me protect my whole digital life. They also give you a VPN to keep your internet private, a password manager to keep your login safe, antivirus software to stop hackers, data broker removal so companies stop selling your information, and $5 million in identity theft insurance just in case. It's like locking every door in your digital house. Go to aura.com/Matt to try Aura for free for 14 days. You'll see exactly where your information is being sold. I'm not leaving myself wide open. You shouldn't either. Once again, that's aura.com/Matt for a free 14-day trial.
Yeah. Anyway, it was an equity deal. So I'm like, well, why would it appraise for 5? Like, why don't you sell it for 5 if it appraises for 5, right? And they're like, well, come take a look at it. So I go take a look at it, and I'm thinking, I don't know, like, so you're telling me that I borrow more than I'm paying for the house? Like, then I'm upside down, and I don't know, it just doesn't sound right. I remember telling my husband that night, I'm like, I don't think I would want to get involved in that. But then next month, my hard money loans are due on the lots. And so I go to a friend of mine that's also a hard money lender. I said, hey, come look at this deal with me. And he's like, well, it looks pretty cool. Like, we could pull that $1 million and lend it at something else. And so it all looks really good. So we locked it up. We bought the house. Now, the problem with the $5 million house, again, is this. You're not going to get a 90% loan.
No.
And the other problem with it is they're harder to close. Like, anything under $3 million is easier to close.
Right.
So now
that's what it is. Under $3 million is jumbo?
Over $3 million is
jumbo.
jumbo.
Oh, sorry, over $3 million is jumbo. So under $3 million is just a regular residential.
Right.
Oh, then that's like.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think in I don't know what it was. It was much lower than that in
2000s.
Yeah, it was about. I was at the same time. Maybe it was 3. I thought it was a couple million. Maybe it was Florida, different areas.
Yeah.
It was a couple million. 3
In 2004, 2005, $3 million was the threshold.
Was it 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I didn't know that, though. I didn't know that. So I go lock up this house. I'm trying to get a loan for 3 or 4 million on a $5 million home, and we aren't closing it. So now not only do I have these lots under contract, now I got this house under contract because I bought it with hard money and was going to do a refinance on it, right?
So you bought it? You did buy it?
Yeah.
And you're just trying to refi and pull out the.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so now I'm really upside down.
And I can think of a way to get the money, but
yeah,
it's a little more fraudulent than what you've currently done.
Well, so now I'm pretty upside down. Well, so now I'm learning too. I'm learning that I've got to lock up houses that are under $3 million. And now I've got people hearing, Portia does these equity deals. Actually, at the time, they're advertising them on billboards in Utah. Use your credit, get cash back, you know?
They're blatant.
It was crazy, right?
So what was the $3 million house that will appraise at 5? Is it because there's a couple other comparables close by? That's what it is, but they weren't really comparable.
Well, what it was that it was just, it had a lot of square footage. It was in a nice neighborhood, but it was dumbed down compared to that comps that
it wasn't really comparable, but
right.
On paper,
it's all square footage. You got to have the right square footage in the right location. So I'm learning this stuff, right?
If you're lending money, if you're a lending institution in California or New York, it looks like a good deal. But if you were a bank down the street, they'd be like, no.
Yeah. Well, Washington Mutual and ABC thought it was a good deal. So
they're not local. They're not local.
They are no longer in business either. So anyway, so this continues to go on, and I'm learning more. I'm learning now that I have to close at $3 million, and the sweet spot is I got to buy the house or lock it up for like $1.5 million. And then I'm also finding out through mortgage brokers that there's companies like Washington Mutual that will lend 90%, but they got to get a little kickback under the table, which is illegal on top of the 3 points that they're getting. This money gets wired directly to this special person at Washington Mutual that's going to give us a 90% loan.
Really?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Right.
I literally got caught by Washington Mutual one time with multiple mortgages on a loan, and they had they should have called the FBI. Instead, their lawyer called me and said, can you just refinance this? Just get us our money back. Like, we don't want to call the FBI.
Well, they were major fraudsters, right?
Right. Like, I knew. I was, talking to him.
They were pulling a bigger fraud than we were pulling by far.
When they're like, listen, nobody wants to call the FBI. And
right.
Thinking, well, I know why I don't. Why don't you? Like, this is Washington Mutual.
Right.
Like, you think they're legit, right?
Yeah. No, they weren't. Yeah, they were selling everything under the table, really. It wasn't going so well. The sad part was that when it all came down, I said, hey, I can give you Washington Mutual. And the feds were like, oh, yeah, we don't want them. We're bailing them out. Oh, that made me upset.
Yeah.
I was upset about that.
So
Anyway,
so 3 million.
yeah. So now I'm starting to learn, and I'm thinking, you know what I could do? Like if I go in a neighborhood and I close a bunch of them at $3 million, now I have comps. Just close them with the hard money.
Listen, you don't want,
I don't want to know.
Prior to us doing the podcast, Portia said, so your crime was what? Fraud? Real estate fraud? I'm like, oh wow. Like, so I'm going to send you a short version of my story. And when you listen to it, you're going to go, holy shit, this is exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Because it was a farming scam. I just created a bunch of comparables,
right?
Drove the whole area up, borrowed the money, let them all go into foreclosure. Yeah. And made a few payments, so it looks like shit. Yeah. But go ahead.
So and at this point, they're doing the NAGAM loans, no income, no asset loans.
Yeah.
And
liar loans.
Right, the liar loans. And the mortgage broker is telling me this is what they all do. This is arbitrage. This is what the feds do. They lend at this. So if you can pull $1 million out, we can put it in the stock market. We can make a bunch of money. And so this is just an asset. That's what the house is. And so now I have all these currency traders that hear about me closing these houses, and they come in and say, hey, I want to buy that. So my thing is I'm the middleman. I'll make $100,000 on it. You take the loan because they're qualified. Well, they're qualified based on these loans. And then you'll get the bulk of the money back. You'll get like the $500,000 or the $1 million back. I've closed them and made the comps and locked everything up in that neighborhood. And now everyone that builds a home, I'm locking it up, and I'm doing a joint venture agreement with them, right? So I'll pay you the $1.5 million, but we're going to close it at $3 million, and I'll close it with hard money, which, what do we call that? I can't even remember the name of that. Splash cash. Splash cash. So the money goes to the title company, and then it just comes right back to create the HUD.
So are you still kind of, because here's the way people hear this, is they think, man, she's balling. But the truth is, what people realize, like
I am freaking juggling.
I was going to say, that's why I always felt like, they're like, well, how much money you were making? Oh, how much you make a month? And I hate that question. It's like, listen, I am selling drugs here. Like, I might have $1 million in the bank, but it's tied up in 5 different places. Right. So my account's doing this.
Right. And absolutely what
I can do what I want, but at no time do I ever feel like I made $4 million.
No. Yeah. At any time I was thinking how, freedom would be living in a home that was worth $300,000 and I owned it free and clear. Like,
I mean, right? I wish I had just been a middle class, average American, welder.
Right. With the dream, the American dream.
That could watch my kids play soccer on the weekends and vacation 2 weeks a month and had a retirement. Like, that would be an amazing life to me.
Correct.
During that time, especially.
Yeah. It was so heavy, and I'm trying to manage all of this, and I'm just, the weight of it was awful. Yeah, I've got everything tied up, everything.
Does your husband feel sick to his stomach, or does he think you're a rainmaker?
He does not think I'm a rainmaker. Now maybe, but not then. No, we had some rough years because he's a pretty conservative guy. Right. So he has a normal job. He went to college. He did all the right things, and I told him, hey, you need to quit your job and stay home and take care of the kids.
I bet you've heard that thrown in your a few times. Like,
he was so mad. I mean, I was like, I can't keep this going. I've got photography. I've got all these real estate deals. People are showing up at our house, and he's like, do you know what you're doing? And here's the sad thing. My husband he works for banks doing marketing, but he doesn't know anything I do, right?
So if you're telling him that's perfectly legal, he's like, okay,
he's just
right.
like, this is weird. This is a lot. Are we ever going to be okay? So he quits his job and he's taking care of the kids. Yeah, he quit his job. Yeah. No, it's going to get worse. Wait till you hear what happened. It's going to get worse. So anyway, there's some pretty rough years. Chad's just like, I hope you know what you're doing. I got people showing up at the house all the time. Hard money. I hear I'm under investigation, right?
How do you hear this?
So that Portia Bunker girl, the other one that was doing hard money, she's under federal investigation. 2 things happened. One, the feds are looking at her, so they're going to title companies pulling her stuff, and they're like, Portia Louder? She must be an alias of Portia Bunker. So they dig into my stuff. So that's a really bad luck. Number 2,
it's flying the way up. You could. How am I supposed to?
How do I can't account for this, right? But just so happens I'm tagged to somebody that's also under investigation for fraud. So that was number one, really bad. Number two, I made a realtor mad that I wasn't paying him a commission on all the deals I was closing. He came to me and said, and I'm like, why would I do that? I don't even need you.
Right.
So then he starts filing complaints and filing complaints. He goes to the Division of Real Estate. Well, I'm not a licensed realtor.
Yeah, okay. Who is
They
he
send me a
filing
letter,
against?
cease and desist. I'm like, you don't even, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
You can't
you're
stop
the
me. I'm
boss
not
of
a
me.
realtor. Yeah. Yeah, but when the FBI, you hear a title company calls and says, hey, they just came in here with some, and they're pulling papers. And I'm like,
Subpoenas?
yeah. And so,
How's that feel? How's that?
oh, it makes me nauseous even saying it right now.
Listen, I always say that the amount of heat that shot up from my pelvis into my chest and hit my face, like I was just, when I first heard that, I was just like, that's not a big deal. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's fine. I know about it. It's not a big deal. Look, it's fine. I appreciate you calling me.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm just
You're
like,
gonna throw up. Yeah. Yeah.
it's over. It's over.
Yeah. It's a nauseating feeling. So my thinking is, well, I'll just go talk to a real estate attorney, and I'll just lay it all out for him.
Can you go through one of the transactions that, like, for instance, like you're saying, like, I know because I've had, once you get about 10 mortgages in your name, they really don't want to give you any more mortgages, no matter what documentation, what you
Right.
So, and obviously you don't want your name on these other transactions where you're helping to build the comparable sales. So I'm saying, what do? You go to your cousin and say, like, how does that work? Like, like I had a deal, there was a house. So I went to my cousin, I convinced him this, and like, how does the money come back out? Like, can you sort of break one down?
So for me, there's two parts to the deal. There's the hard money part. So let's say that I go to a builder and I lock a house up that he's selling. I make a deal with him.
Right.
Sell me the house for 1.2 or 1.4, and I've already closed enough houses in cash. Is that what you're asking?
Right. So
how did I close? I appraised at $3 million. I've already got.
But you didn't buy it for $3 million.
I bought it for 1.4.
1.4. How does the comparable sale show up for $3 million?
Because I closed him in hard money, sent the money to the title company to create the HUD, and then that cash comes back, and only this much goes to the seller.
Okay, so
there's an agreement, a joint venture agreement that's held at title that says 1.4 goes to the seller, and the other 1.6 comes back to an LLC that I have set up. And whoever bought it doesn't really. Well, what I did is I had people buying it that were going to refinance them. Yeah. So we closed them in cash, and then they would go and refinance them. And I did have a few straw buyers, like my husband or my brother or my mom or whatever. But mostly they were investors that were buying them to pull the cash out themselves.
Right. So when you go and you buy this house,
yes,
the house is selling for 1.3.
Okay.
You write up a contract for $3 million.
Mm-hmm.
You borrow let's say the 1.3, or the whole 7 million, and it just comes back. Or I'm sorry, the whole 3 million.
Let's just to make the numbers easy, let's say this. I present it.
Right.
But I'm gonna close it for $3 million. So there's gonna be a joint venture agreement. The house is gonna be sold to the joint venture agreement. You're gonna get $1.5 million. And the other $1.5 million at title is going to come right back to me. We call it that splash cash. That's money that just creates the HUD. So I had people that I could call, and I paid them a point to send their money to title, and it would come right back to them.
Right. Then
we refinance it. We put a lien on it. That's when the payday happens, is when the refinance happens, right? There's a lien for $500,000, and when that gets paid, that's going to come back to my LLC, and I'm going to kick it back to the person that bought the house, and I'm going to keep $100,000 of it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So when you close at a title company, it creates a transaction form for the county. So you're paying the extra doc stamps on the lien, the extra 0.007 doc stamps on the extra $1.5 million.
Correct.
To create the comparable.
Correct.
So now you've got 3 comparables.
It's not just the comparable either, though. Now you've created the HUD for the refinance. If you've closed it and you've shown money coming in, we show that. So the way that they purchase it, we're going to show a big down payment from the buyer on that initial HUD, even though that money was never actually paid. It's going to come in, and it's going to come right back.
But are you writing up the agreement in such a way that the title company doesn't really realize or that what's happening?
They didn't think it was illegal.
They didn't think it was illegal? Okay, they're telling you, oh, yeah, it's fine. It's just creative financing. Or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, we're fine with that.
Well, there were but here's the other thing.
'Cause I never had a title company tell me no.
Yeah.
All of them
No.
were always like, yeah, that's fine.
But when I first started doing these deals, I would go lock up a house for $1.5 million. I would call Washington Mutual or ABC Lender and say, I would like to borrow this much money, and we have an appraisal for 2.9, and I'm only paying 1.5. And they would send their own appraiser, and their appraiser would say, oh, it's actually worth 3. Their own appraiser, right? So in my mind, there's no fraud, because how could I have committed a fraud against a bank that's fully aware of all the details of the transaction?
But they don't really realize that you created the other 3 comparable
That's
sales.
true.
That's
true.
Like, I hear what you're saying.
There's that. I know, but my argument to the FBI was, how is the bank a victim when the bank knows that I pay? I mean, think about it, though. If the bank knows that I'm actually locking it up at 1.5, I'm getting a $3 million appraisal, and they're lending more than the purchase price, is it fraudulent to the bank? I guess you're right.
I mean, look, in the big picture, if they knew,
they did not care.
If
they would have never cared.
If they knew that their appraisal was based on false comparables, then they would have cared. But here's the thing:
they were selling all those loans.
Well, I mean, I don't think Washington Mutual would have cared.
Right, the underwriter.
I think
somebody cared someday.
I think let's take Washington Mutual out of it, and let's say it's a legitimate bank.
Right.
They would have cared.
Right.
But I also think even a legitimate bank at that time, and to this day, would have said, we're only going to have this on our books for 90 days. We're going to put it into a tranche. It's going to be sold. We're getting our money back. We don't care what happens on the secondary market.
Right.
Because I don't necessarily know that, whatever. I don't necessarily know that all banks understood what they were really doing to the economy, how bad it was, until it was too late.
I consider us all conspirators.
Yeah.
Me, the bank, even title sometimes.
Yeah, I mentioned this George Carlson. I don't know if you've ever seen him. Do you know George Carlson?
Yeah.
So he's a comedian, right? He I always thought he said it great, where he's explaining a conspiracy, and he's like, you do not have to have a meeting of the minds of all parties involved in a conspiracy if all of you have a common interest and a common goal. You're in a conspiracy.
Right.
So everybody, you don't have to sit down with the underwriter of this, and all these, you guys don't have to get together in a room.
Right.
All of your goal is the same thing. Create this device that I can get rid of on the secondary market, and it's off my hands, and I don't care what happens.
Right.
So, okay, so you buy the property, and then you've already got it sold to somebody. You refinance it. They pull out. They get a loan for $2.5 million, whatever.
Right.
And you just get the $100,000 on the top.
Correct.
And then they're pocketing
$500,000.
Yeah.
And see, that's what my lawyer's like. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? You're not making all the money.
I'm still making $100,000.
I'm making $100,000, and then they have to make the payment, and they're getting the chunk of cash, right? But eventually, they all defaulted on the loans, and they took the big chunk of cash, and I took an indictment. So none of those guys were indicted. So there was that. So I go in and I talk to a real estate attorney, and I map it all out, because I'm still saying, it's kind of legal. I mean, they're advertising this.
It's a gray area.
Yeah, it's gray. But you know what the real estate lawyer says? He goes, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. That's what he said. I drew it all out, and he goes, wow. And you close at this, and then you refinance it at this and that. And he's like, oh, it's really... Next day he calls me and goes, I think you have some problems. Come back in. We're going to bring a criminal defense lawyer.
I talked to a criminal lawyer.
Right. That's what happened. So I go in and I talk to the criminal lawyer, and the criminal lawyer says, you're not that important. You should just slow down and maybe stop, but you're not that important. I'm like, no, but it's the FBI. Like, I think there could be some problems here. I'm thinking, you don't know. I've got a lot of money coming and going. I mean, like you say, I have a lot of money coming and going. I'm closing a lot. Then the FBI shows up at my house. They usually don't do that, but they did. I was living in a $3 million home at the time, and they showed up. Now I've got my last kid, my youngest. So she's 3 months old. She's in my arms. And my husband's at the house, and when they come to the door, they look at Chad and they said, hey, you're going to need to decide what you're going to do. Because if you stand by her, you could get wrapped up in a conspiracy, because she's going to go to prison. And
So I mean, they just knock
They're
on the
just
door.
very, yeah.
And, I mean,
They
they
said, hey,
explained to you like how did
They
that?
just said, yeah, it's so weird that they
'Cause
came
they never
to my
really
house.
came to
They
my
usually
house.
don't do that, right? But they did, and I remember Cameron Saxey and Agent Denning, and they knocked on the door, and I'm standing there with and I told Chad, don't you say a word. He said, you step back now, friend. You need to go. You don't say
That's not for somebody who's been saying perfectly legal,
Yeah, yeah,
perfectly fine. Say nothing. They're like, what? He's gotta be like, what do you say nothing about?
Yeah.
What? Nothing. Everything is it's all legal.
His face is white. He's just like, I know my husband, you know, and I'm like, I need to get him out of here. Like, he can't do this. Yeah, it was terrible. I just remember the most sickening feeling, like everything I have is gone. I'm gonna lose it all. The most important thing, my family, you know, I've got these kids that depend on me. I have kids in high school. I've got these kids in elementary, and I got a new baby, and I got a husband, and my husband quit his job, and he's home taking care of the kids, and he hates me. Like he's gonna leave me. Like it's all gone, right? So I called the attorney back, and the attorney goes, "Oh yeah, you probably have some problems."
Well, wait a second. So the FBI knocks on the door. You open the door.
They come in for a minute, and then they leave because I'm like, "Yeah, we're not talking to you. You need to go."
Okay.
Yeah. Bye.
But before they leave, they turn to your husband and say, "You need to figure this out because she's going to prison.
She's going down." That's
and then
what they did.
They leave.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and I spent 2 days in bed thrown up. It was awful. Called the lawyer, and she's like, "Well, let me see what I can do." I had a few different attorneys at this point. I didn't realize that my main attorney, his wife was also an attorney, so they're both like tag teaming me now. So she says, "Hey, let me set up a meeting because I don't think what you did. Everyone keeps saying I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like I don't think it's that serious. You know, you're just a mom. It's not a big deal." So they
tell you that they're wrong about that.
Right.
Personal experience.
Right.
It is a big deal.
It became a huge deal. So anyway, they set up a meeting with the FBI and with the main prosecutor, whole bunch of people in the room. And as soon as we walk in the room, my attorney looks at me and goes, "There's a lot of people here."
This guy is not instilling confidence at all.
No. And I was like, "Well, what do you want me to do?" And they're like, "Well, you know, I think if they see that you're really sorry." I know, right?
What crackerjack lawyer did you
Well, I had
get?
to fire that attorney. I went through several attorneys. But anyway, at this point, I sat down with them, and they're asking me questions about things that I really hadn't done. They thought that I don't even remember exactly what they thought, but it wasn't what I had done.
They started off with Miss Louder. Or
Miss Louder. I didn't really love that. I was like I thought it wasn't good.
Gotta get him on a first name basis, get him on your team. Like, yeah.
I tried that. I showed him a family picture. I was like,
you guys,
yeah.
We need to fix this. I think these people are doing something illegal.
It's exactly how it was. I was like, "Oh, you're talking about that. Oh, yeah, I'm not doing that." Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't like that. And eventually, I mean, they got pissed. In fact, I remember the FBI agent. He's like, "Portia." No, he didn't say Portia. But he said, "Louder, listen. People have lost money. People have lost a lot of money. People with handicapped kids have lost money. The market has crashed." And I felt
What year is this?
This was about 2007, 2008.
Okay, so it's crashing.
It's crashing, and they're looking at me like I'm the cause of it.
All right, guys, I'm back.
And that's when the attorney says, "Hey, we need to take a break," and we go outside, and they're like, "I think this meeting's over." Like they're pissed, and so we left. And again, the attorney calls me and says, "Maybe we can get you you might do a couple of years in prison." And I'm like, "What?" We went from you're not that big of a deal. Well, this is really brilliant. To you're going to do a few years in prison. That's when I went and found a new attorney.
This is like
not great.
Tom Cruise wanting to hang off the side of an airplane, and his security or his whatever the stunt guy says, "You can't do that," and he says, "So I got a new one."
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna keep looking for one until he's gonna say, "Okay, yes, you can hang off the side of it."
That's exactly what I did. I was looking for it's a really bad strategy. I know this now because you can eventually find one that will tell you didn't do anything wrong.
As long as you give me
enough money
up front.
So that's what I did. I went and found a lawyer. He wasn't a really good lawyer, but he came highly recommended. Very expensive out of Boston. He used to be a federal prosecutor, right? He told me I was brilliant. Cost me a lot of money to hear that. I ended up doing a lot more time too, but at the time, I wasn't about to have an attorney who was going to tell me I was going to prison. Not at that point.
That's crazy, man.
So I hired the attorney and spent everything we have. and we audit things, and we go through the, and now and I have him go talk to the FBI and explain to him why what I did wasn't illegal. And now the FBI's pissed, and now the prosecutor's pissed, and this drags on for, I mean, they didn't even indict me until 2011. So
Wow.
I'm like paying this guy to come into town and meet with them and trying to talk him out of it. Yeah, it's not going to happen. They're going to indict me anyway, right? So eventually, and I'm on pretrial release, so I'm home, and I'm still kind of trying to keep the family above water, and my husband's really angry at me now. Now this is when the marriage gets rough, and really rough, and I'm just telling him, you know, I know I've ruined your life, and you probably should leave. Like, you should probably go. And he's like, and do what? I got all these kids. Like, what are we going to, now? Buy a Porsche? No. And it was just bad. In fact, I started a trucking company and said, go drive a truck then. Go do something, you know? And now his dad comes to me and he's like, what have you done to my son? Like, he's up in Montana driving a truck, and he's really mad at me, and things just aren't going great, right? And I remember at one point I said, well, we should just get divorced. And he's like, I hate you. And he's like, what have you done? Like, what have you done to us? And then he called me back the next day, and he's like, Portia, like, for real? I love you, and I love our kids. We can work through this. And he told me when he called me back that day, he's like, I knew then that I would stay with you no matter what, that I would stick it out. And I was pretty sure you were going to prison, but I was going to stand by it. But things got worse. So things got worse. It's hard to imagine, right? So eventually they indict me, and they indict Chad.
Damn.
Superseded the indictment and hit him. Yeah, he's in the house,
Yeah,
right?
man.
I used his credit. I mean, of course I used his credit, right? I'm using, yeah, I mean, of course.
He bought a
Holy
couple
cow.
houses
Yeah,
himself, signed the
yeah.
documents.
He signed the documents, right? And so now they indict him on a conspiracy, and they indict my brother, because my brother is also.
Oh, man. Too bad.
And so, and then my brother now, and I mean, God bless him, I understand. But the next day he goes in and turns and says, hey, I'll turn on her and Chad, because he's scared. And I'm like, I get it. Like,
Yeah.
he wouldn't have done well in prison anyway, so it's good that he didn't go.
I see.
Jesus Christ.
You're what, 110 pounds?
Yeah,
Talking
yeah.
to your 200-pound brother.
Yeah.
Saying, listen, you're soft.
Yeah.
I can't handle.
Kind of the case. It was kind of the case. I was like, yeah, just take your deal and be done. You're not going to do well. I'm
You're not cut out for this like me. I'm a gangster.
I'm the leader, right? So,
Oh, my God.
yeah. Yeah, so even after I was indicted, I'm dragging it out. I ended up getting rid of that lawyer and getting another attorney. And it's at a certain point, like...
Oh, really?
They
Oh,
are
wow.
so mad at me now. Like, I've got the
Let's
FBI
get you
mad,
arraigned then,
everybody's
man.
mad, I'm mad, and I'm going to go to trial. That's what I decide. I'm going to trial, I'm going
These
to the
places are
death,
busy
and if I
now.
have to, I'll
See
follow the
another one
sword, and I will
right here.
take all the heat, and they'll let
A lot
Chad
of
off.
people are
Like,
going
that's
out
what's
to
going
eat
to happen.
today.
And I remember I was so delusional. Yeah, I was, I mean, really, I had fought my way out of a lot of hard situations, and I could not see a way out. I would not take the deal.
You were like,
So 3
Did
weeks.
they offer you a deal?
Yes, I had
Ugh.
a deal that was 4 to 6 years on the table.
Okay.
I would get art out, so I'd get a year off. And I remember my lawyer saying, please take the deal. I was like, I'm going to trial. But here's, by the grace of
Church
God,
today,
this
too.
happens. So 3 weeks before my trial, I'm standing in a courtroom in the federal courthouse in Salt Lake City. My husband's standing there with me. And in the courtroom next to ours, the U.S. Marshals shoot a guy 5 times. Because he
Uh-oh.
stood, I know, this is very...
Whoa. What happened there?
So it was his first day of court, and he stood up with a pencil in his hand. He was from a gang, and he was mad at the guy that was testifying, and the marshals, instead of tasing him, they shot him and killed him.
Right.
So it was kind of a thing. Of course, they locked the whole courthouse down. The marshals come running through. I mean, this is unusual, right? The marshals come, yeah, you don't see it every day. They come running through the courtroom. The judge goes, something's going on, let's lock down the courthouse. So my husband and his attorney, now he has an attorney, everyone has an attorney, and they're walking down the front steps. Somehow I sneak out and go down the back steps, and I walk out the front of the courthouse with the paramedics and the man that's been shot. And when I walk out, the press is all there, and they want to hear what happened. Yeah.
And they ask you?
Yeah. And so they come up, and I said, well, the U.S. Marshal shot a guy 5 times and killed him that had a pencil in his hand. My husband walks out, and he's like, what is wrong with you? He's like, come on. And he like grabs me and we walk away. And before I'm even to the car, my attorney calls and says, you're on the 12 o'clock news. What were you thinking? Do you have any idea how mad everybody is? The ATF wanted to come out and present. Why would you do that? She goes, they are so mad. And I go, I am mad too. We're all mad. We're all mad. She's like, you'll be at the courthouse tomorrow morning. And I went to the courthouse the next morning and they revoked my pretrial release and locked me up. They were so done with me. And then they take me to the county jail and take my clothes and throw me into a cell. And I spent a week, locked up like that. Pretty much had a nervous breakdown.
You've been processed.
Oh yeah, they just called me and told me to come down and do my fingerprints.
Yeah,
and
but that's very...
Yeah, minimal. And I still had an attorney that I was paying to tell me I was innocent at that point anyway, so, I'm gonna walk out of this. But anyway, so I'm at the county jail. I have a full-on mental breakdown. I just saw a guy get shot on his first day. I'm 3 weeks out on my own trial, and my husband...
Just to let you guys know, I'm listening to Michael Cox.
My kids are gonna be without parents, so I got the weight of the world.
He did a lot of fraud,
Everything is going...
identity theft and fraud.
I can't even
That's what I'm listening to.
When they ask me my name, I can't even say my name. I'm just completely not well. And a week later, when they finally let me out, my husband comes and gets me, and my attorney I go to meet with my attorney, and I can't get the words out. My attorney says, look, we need to do a mental evaluation. So they locked me up again, and ended up sending me on a plane to...
I'm probably going to end the stream, man.
Again in the medical unit, and then they shipped me
But thanks a lot for hanging in there, man.
They shipped me to
Appreciate you
SeaTac.
coming out.
I know,
OG, good to see you,
all
man.
the Con Air experience and Chains and
Christian,
Shackles,
good to
I've
see
never
you.
even,
I will stream
jail.
live tomorrow,
And
but peace
when I
out,
get
guys,
there,
man. Have a good
I
evening.
call my husband and he goes, listen, they're doing a mental evaluation. You better get yourself together because they could keep you locked up forever. You better figure